Hello, book friends. Thank you for joining me for part 2 of The Book Judge. I'm so glad you decided to tune in because we are discussing fall books for littles and parents to read together. Court is now in session. Today we're discussing fall books for little ones. Parents, it's a great time to introduce your kids to the changing seasons. I do not focus on Halloween as I stated in part 1. Today, I'm going to show you some new finds that I think are treasures, and I'm going to share them with you. Linked below. Be sure to subscribe and like my channel. Today's books are something you can probably get on sale because Amazon's going to be clearing out their fall books to get ready for Christmas. Book number 1, Miss Maple's Seeds. While this isn't necessarily a harvest or fall book, it could easily fall into that category. I found the pictures to be gorgeous. The artwork is stunning. The lighting on this particular book is just beautiful. And I promote beautiful books for families to read together. It also teaches us lessons through this imaginary little woman who shows us what it's like to take a seed all the way through planting and reseeding again. I thought this book was just delightful. I wish it had been around when my kids were little. Maybe it was, but I just found it recently. I love that the title is in cursive writing, something you hardly ever see anymore. And I appreciate the artistic thought that went into this book. I highly recommend it. I'm going to link it below. Get it for your kids today. Fall Walk. I just found this book recently. I will link it below for you. This is a gorgeous book. This book appealed to me because, again, I've shared with you before, I have artists and musicians in my family. The coloring is just wonderful. The script is just wonderful. And I appreciate all the etching and sketching. I appreciate that penmanship is used in the title. And this book is a keeper. It belongs on everybody's shelves. It doesn't matter if you have little ones or not. You can still learn from any book. And this is one of those books. I love it. I hope you'll love it. I think your kids will love it. I think your grandkids will love it. Oxcart Man, what a great book. It's been around for a while, but I did not have this in my inventory when my kids were little, and I wish I would have. It's such a sweet story. As you can see, it's won an award. There's a medal on it. The pictures are so simple, and yet they describe so much. Just the simple artwork shows you what takes place on this man's farm. And it is centered around his ox cart and where that ox cart goes and what happens. This is about farm life. This is about seasons. It is a great thing to use. It's a wonderful tool to speak to your kids about farm life, agriculture, where our food comes from, and the cycle of life. So this is a fantastic book. I'm so glad you can see that little circle up there. That means it's won a medal. That means it's been a book winner. And I appreciate the simplistic art, but it is not art that takes away from the reading at all. It is so sweet, so cute. I'm keeping this on my bookshelf. It is truly a winner. The Fox Went Out on a Chilly Night. I'm so delighted to bring you award-winning books. As you can see, this book has a medal, so I'm not the only one who enjoyed it. Now, it is the cycle of life. And there is a troubled goose or duck in here, perhaps being pursued by the fox. But it is realistic. It is what life is really like out in the country. And it's seen from a certain perspective. I'll try not to give it all away. But the artwork is so engaging. I think little ones will enjoy it as well as parents. I appreciate all the fall use of colors. And I appreciate that it takes place in the evening hours. But it is well lit. The person is a master of lighting if you're thinking about art, as I often am when I look at these books. And so I know why it won an award. I think your kids will really appreciate it. It is one of those books that's going on my shelves forever. I will link it below, and I hope you'll click on that link and get it sent to your house so you can read it to your grandchildren and your children this fall. I've been following this author for a while because he's captured a part of my heart that likes to read about the in-between or the emergence of our next season. His use of color and lighting is very good. You'll understand what I mean. There is a different angle to the sun in the fall, and his artwork does capture it. I appreciate how he takes us from summer and just slowly eases us into the idea of fall until we have a full-blown, glorious fall. It's an innocent book. Moms will like it, dads will like it, brothers and sisters will like it, grandparents will like it. Pumpkin Town. This is a cute book. The art style is a little quirky, but I think kids will like it. I like their uses of orange and purple. I like what happens in this story, and I think your kids will find it just as funny as I did. Kids like to giggle and laugh and think and imagine, and this book helps them do it in a way that's not scary, in a way that could maybe potentially happen. The artwork is quirky, but it is fun and engaging. And so if you're a parent or a grandparent, if you have little ones in your life, they would enjoy this story very, very much. I will link it below in the description. You can click on that link and get this book sent to your house and start building that library for your family today. Autumn is here. This is a simple, artful book. The author keeps the illustrations very simple. They were almost a little bit too simplistic for me, but I did like the use of color. So I am going to promote this book. It is about all things fall, all things harvest, all things autumnal. And it's sweet, it's quick, but it's visually stimulating with its colors. I appreciate that our minds want to make pictures out of things like blobs and fuzziness, and this book would allow you to do that. I think it's very sweet. It's very affordable, so I'll link it below. Add this to your fall bookshelf. Hello, Harvest Moon. This book is very agriculturally based, but not in such a way that it would be boring for anybody. I enjoyed everything about this. The lighting is delightful. The coloring is good. The settings are good. There was only one little hitch in this. It did talk about how our ancestors thought maybe the moon was the eye of a god. I'm not into that sort of thing, but because the rest of the book was very much about fall, harvest, seasons, and the art was engaging, and the title was written in cursive or penmanship, I went ahead and bought it. And I'm going to recommend it and link it below for you. I do think that your children will find it visually stimulating, and I think that your grandchildren would enjoy hearing about agricultural life if they're growing up in the city, or maybe if they do grow up on a farm, they can relate to some of the things this book speaks of or writes about. Fletcher and the Falling Leaves. This is a cute book. Fletcher has other stories, but in this one, Fletcher wants to understand what's happening to the leaves where he lives. He wants to save them and put them back on the tree. He doesn't quite understand what's going on, but it's adorable. By the end of the book, you will be heading into a wintry scene, and then you will learn that Fletcher has more stories. I enjoyed this enough that I'm going to look for those other stories and link them for you. This is a library keeper for sure. Buy this book, start building your own library for generations to come. This is an adorable, completely cute fall, harvest, autumnal type book. Oh my goodness, sweet. Look at this perspective. It's as though someone has a drone and is looking down on this young man who's sweeping up a multiplicity of leaves. He's been given the job of sweeping it up and keeping it neat. He takes his job seriously, and what happens next is just hilarious. Your kids will chuckle and laugh, and they will try to find some of the semi-hidden things in this book. It's adorable. I like the simple title. I will link it below. I do think the perspectives are really interesting, and so is the artwork. I'm always looking for artwork to inspire my artistic kids. So when I order a book, I'm looking at story, I'm looking at art, I'm looking at visual stimulation, I'm looking at storyline. This book has it all. It's really cute. It's not spooky or scary. It's a lot of fun, and it encompasses all the things we think about during the fall. So get this book today. I'll link it below. And I just want to thank you for joining me for this walk through fall books for little ones and their parents. Enjoy this, Grandpa, Grandma. Enjoy this, Mom and Dad. Enjoy this, Aunt and Uncle. And enjoy this, children. And if you're kind of a big kid at heart like me, you're going to enjoy all these books too. So thank you so much for joining me for part 2 of Books for Littles, books for parents and grandparents, aunts and uncles. These make great gift ideas. Now is a great time to buy. I'm going to keep putting those links down there. Click on it. If you have a book you'd like me to read or review, go to my Book and Gavel Gmail account and send me an email and I'll take a look. I also have the Book Judge Facebook page. Thank you so much for subscribing. Bye, book friends. We'll see you next time. Court is now adjourned.